Hello everyone, I have my calendar in my hot little hands. I'm so excited to share it with you. I'm going to go through the different months and tell you a bit of the story, the miracle story of what's been happening, and some of the photos actually tell a story themselves. So first, right off the bat, I just want to say no, I am not playing in the Black Friday sale. I don't mean to offend. There may be many people, many Canadians that are putting products on sale, but this isn't just a product. It's a specialized project for two fundraisers, and I'll get into that in a moment. So who's there? Hello, Naveen Ali. Hello. Thanks for joining me today. So I'm very, very excited to share this miracle story. Holy cow. And some people are getting their calendars really quick. It took me a while, and I was I was just very impatient. But we have a postal strike going on here in Canada, a rotating one. So I just happened to be in the area where there's a strike going on, but other people have been getting theirs really quick. So thank you right off the bat. And to my American friends, happy Thanksgiving weekend. I guess it was yesterday for you. And I don't know, what do you say about Black Friday? Happy Black Friday? Hope you don't get trampled. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe people shop online. So that's what you do with these calendars. It is a print and demand company. I don't have anything to do with it. They ship it all out. So I only saw the pictures really small, so I wasn't sure how it was going to look. And the paper is amazing. This is, and they are for both Canada and US residents. Okay, so where do I start? Let me just quickly just start by saying it began with a fundraiser for me. Okay, and I will share about more of that story. But at the 11th hour, I met a Mr. and Mrs. Soul. And Mr. and Mrs. Soul told me that our local swans are the children of their swans. And they pointed me in the direction of the Trumpeter Swan Coalition. So the Trumpeter Swans were native to Ontario, and they went extinct for 200 years. In 1880, because of hunting and habitat loss. So there was one man, a retired biologist, Harry Lunson, and he got eggs from Alberta in the early 1980s, in the early 1980s. And Mr. and Mrs. Soul got their couple in 1993. Okay, so I'm giving you the setup here because the front cover is one of their young. So this guy, he's a year and a half old. I actually got to feed him out of my hand. They brought me to their home. What was really cool was that their trumpeter, and I'm gonna show you the father. So the father of my swans, let's see, he is in the month of the month of June. This guy is 19 years old. And they've named him Jacob. So here's Jacob. And there's quotes and there's different meanings of swan from different cultures that I put in the calendar. But with Jacob and this young one here, okay, their swans never leave. And then I'll tell you why the $5 of this calendar is going to the Trumpeter Swan Coalition, because most of them winter at Lake Ontario. Okay, so again, this is a fragile comeback. And I was actually speaking to Harry Lunson, so there's about 2,500 now in Ontario. So this guy last year, and he had two other siblings. What do they call them when they're babies? Cygnets. Two other cygnets. The mother died. Okay, and so Mr. and Mrs. Soul said that the three cygnets and the father, Jacob, were trumpeting for 4 days. And a female came in. And so I was quite upset that I would see the swans with tags on them. But what they've told me is, they're tagged, and then you can find out where they go and so on and so forth. So what they found out was the female that came in, she was 5 years old, from Bradford. And then she became their surrogate mom. And she didn't kick them out of the nest, not like these ones here, right? And I guess most in the wild. After a certain age, they got to go find their own place to live. Okay, and look at his little face. I was speaking to him, and he was cocking his head. Okay, so these are all taken by me, these photos, and the paper's so thick, it's great. So here we go with January. And the quote is from Ted Andrews' book, Animals Speak, Awakening to the True Beauty and Power of the Self. Okay, and then February. Again, it's a quote by Ted Andrews. How can you see? Well, swans are excellent totem for children, those connected to the fairy realm, poets, bards, mystics, and dreamers. And that's from page 196. So that's as far as I had seen the juveniles, the young ones, grow up. Okay, and then we have March. Okay, so because this project, I mean, it was a miracle in itself that it got created so quick. So I was launching my humanitarian site, Patreon site. It was Cosmic Breath in September, and now it's changed to Marguerite Brigham. And so many patrons, there's like, you can be members over there. So many people helped put this together. But I was also asking on Facebook. So this was one that won. So a lot of people were voting. And this one actually was going to be on the front cover until I met Mr. and Mrs. Soul Swans. So we got the rainy day. March rains a lot here. Swan Totem. As you begin to realize your own true beauty, you unfold the ability to bridge to new realms and powers. And then I got the babies, the cygnets. Hi, Belle. Thanks for showing up. So here we are in April. This is a quote. I had a couple quotes, and I was asking people on Facebook which quote you like better. So this is what you guys all voted for. So again, thank you for playing the game and helping co-create this in record time. Graceful and peaceful, gliding on the surface, with huge, strong legs powering away beneath. And May. So any Tauruses out there, You will appreciate this month because Taurus is ruled by Venus, goddess of love. The swan is sacred to Venus and Aphrodite. Ancient associations with the goddesses of love are due to the swan's great beauty and their tendency to mate for life. That's May. And again, we go back to Jacob. I don't know. Do you want me to keep reading these? That one's nice. So right there I have that the website of the Trumpeter Swan Coalition and the $5. Here I say partial proceeds. I changed that though. I went in and changed it to say $5 from each calendar goes to them. This picture was taken in August, and so it is on the August month. And it's the Navajo, in the Navajo tradition, the great white swan can call up the four winds. The Great Spirit will use swans to work its will. I think that's exactly what happened for me. I believe the Great Spirit has been working through the swans. Now this, for my musician and healers, is September. So again, because it's got the goldenrod, that happens in September. So try to coordinate the photos with when I was actually taking them. Many healers use a swan feather in smudging and healing ceremonies. A swan feather tied to an instrument would be a powerful adjunct to music therapy. Penny Still Pony's here. Rachel Rose is here. Thank you for coming on. Rachel, did you get your calendar yet? And Penny and Belle, you have, so thank you so much. Let me know which is your favorite month. Actually, Penny did. She told me November is her favorite month and favorite quote. October. I think October is mine. Now, I'm not going to get my own calendar out right now and share, but it's sort of been my little journal of when I met Mr. and Mrs. Soul. I had told them, so that was just before Halloween, Soen. But I didn't know their last name was Soul until November 11th, when I had asked to see if I could have them in an article, right? I'm going to sending this to the newspapers, and they said yes. And when I asked them what their last name was, because I just knew them as Norma and Jim, they said Soul, S-O-U-L. So you guys also helped me pick this one. So again, many thanks to this co-creative process. Among Druids, the swan represents the soul. The swan represents the soul. And it's associated with the festival of Soen, Halloween. The swan aids us in traveling to the other world. So my magical friends know a little bit more of that backstory. Okay, October, November. Behold the swan, a bird that transforms from an ugly duckling to beauty and grace in adulthood. Sounds like me. And finally in December, December. So this is a quote right from Hans Christian Andersen from The Ugly Duckling. It doesn't matter if you're born in a duck yard so long as you're hatched from a swan's egg. And so then I have the link in there. Patreon, Marguerite Brigham, right? And I also have RachelRoseDesign.com in here because she was helping with the design and take out some of the tags on the swans, but I left some in because, again, well, not that you can make it go bigger, but if you want to know what the numbers are here, I can let you know, and then you can look up on the Trumpeter Swan Coalition, you know, where these swans go. Maybe these ones here don't go to Lake Ontario. You know, maybe they go to Michigan. I don't know. I'll have to look them up. So what was really cool was as I was sharing about the surrogate mother that came in, as Rachel is helping me with the design, I find out that the swan surrogate mother, they've named Rachel. And what she's saying right now. Let me see what you're saying, darling. You love it. It looks amazing. It looks so much more amazing when you see it. This just doesn't give it justice. Right, Belle? Right, Penny? Doesn't give it justice by seeing it here. Belle, your favorite month and saying is January. Nice. I love the watermark print faded in behind the calendar itself. I don't know what you mean. Look at its little, so it was preening itself, so it's got the little feathers, but doesn't that look like its beak look like a really long heart? I think it looks like a really long heart. Maybe that's just me. But there's so much love behind this. And, you know, love turned into a tangible, visible calendar. I'm still just kind of blown away by the whole thing. Makes me think of John Lennon. He said, when you dream a dream alone, it stays a dream. When you dream a dream together, it becomes a reality. A reality. So why at the 11th hour am I giving $5 from each calendar to the Trumpeter Swan Coalition? So again, they were extinct for 200 years, right? Loss of habitat, and that's happening again. It is a fragile comeback, right? So where they go down in Burlington is a Park La Salsa. So if you go on the Trumpeter Swan Coalition.com, you'll get more of the story. But anyways, there's a little marina there, and they want to put a break wall in, which could freeze the area, right, for the swans. And of course, the marina, they call them the boaters. So it's like the swan people against the boaters, the boaters, right? So we're swan people. We're known as swan people here. We're just friends. We're friends of the swan. And so they want to, you know, they're saying, well, why can't the swans move? Well, yeah, there is a lot of parks across Lake Ontario they could go to, but they chose that one. There must be a reason, right? And so it is protecting, you know, nature here. The boaters don't want their boats ruined, but there's a lot of marinas on Lake Ontario they could take their boats to. And the big fight too is that the boaters want the taxpayers to pay the $4 million for this breakwall, right? So that's another big reason that the Trumpeter Swans were, the coalition was fighting it. So, so just to, be clear that it's also not going to go on sale for Christmas. Okay, so it's $25 plus shipping and handling. Again, this print-on-demand company does it all. And then $5. So I just want you can pay in any way, right? Like, so when you go on the site, there's a little circle and it has a flag. So make sure, you put in if you want to be paying in American or Canadian or there's quite a different, the euro, quite a different few ways. So everything's the same. This is the American one. Okay, it's all the same except inside it has the different holidays. So there's no difference between the two. And we all have different reasons why we care. So maybe you don't care about the Trumpeter Swans and their comeback. And I really believe that they have, chosen me to help advocate on their behalf, because I get not being in a safe environment. And I think, I want to maybe just start off by saying, and it's a bit difficult. So I was kind of practicing in my Wake and Magic group yesterday. So maybe I'll do it with, sharing about the magic of gratitude, right? Because taking the opportunity with the American Thanksgiving to share. So right off the bat, something else that's been coming up is my friends have been asking me to, purchase a calendar for them, and they'll pay me when they see me. And it's like, no, I have not clearly been saying and telling my story of how far I've fallen. Really being the ugly duckling. So it is because of the swans I'm being able to drop my shame story, because of this miracle story. Right? The shame has kept me silent because I'm a strong woman, and have been wanting to get my feet back on the ground. That's why I started the Patreon page. Patreon site. It's a crowdfunding site. It's different from other crowdfunding sites because it's like a membership. It's for content creator. It doesn't go away. So why can't I, purchase these calendars? And how did it start as a fundraiser to begin with? So let me share that in September, I was doing lives every day. You might have seen there's the Cosmic Love Challenge. Right? I was teaching this meditation. Really helps to open up the heart. And I've noticed over the years that when our hearts open, the animals come closer. And that to me, I love nature so much that it just means so much. And it's like, nature shows off, like allows me to be in the right place at the right time, because people cannot believe that these were taken by my phone, So I've just been able to be that close to the swans. So in September, I'll just share quickly that my bank card got compromised. Someone went on a shopping spree and I was left with $10. And so my friend Penny said, why don't you do a swan calendar as a fundraiser? Okay, so I've already, like how low can a grandma go? I'm already just been rebuilding my life. So it's almost been 2 years that my friend had to, she didn't have to, but my friend rescued me I had to flee from a really abusive work and living environment. And I haven't felt safe for many years. So again, that's how I can relate to the swans, of not having a safe place. Like we all need a soft place to land, right? And so it's almost been 2 years. December 1st, it'll be 2 years. I get planted in this little town. So no vehicle, very little possessions, no job, and knowing one person, right? So what do? So 2017, I'm, starting to rebuild my life. I do some group coaching online. I get like a yoga class going, but there's only one night I could teach because the studio, had the places booked. And then I was doing some goddess yoga online, trying all kinds of different ways to get my feet back on the ground. And then I crashed. And I guess it's because it's been a safe place, for one thing. But yeah, I became really ill because I was traumatized and I wasn't looking at the trauma. So I was forced to this year. Those of you who may remember, may not, I was missing in action, January, February, March. Couldn't be on technology, could hardly get my head off the pillow, just was in sheer exhaustion. Slept. Tried to rise a few times, make a comeback a few times. I know in May I was been asking for help at the beginning of the year for so many people, and at the end of the year, many have stepped up, and I'm just so grateful. But what I'm so grateful for is that I had to reach out. I had to reach out in this little town. So my doctor, he said you can't work, right? I filled out the forms for disability. I don't know if that's going to come through or not. I won't know till the end of this month. It's a 3-month process to see if you get accepted. So again, I'm just trying to help myself by setting up the Patreon, right? The crowdfunding site. And so because there is no buses here, I mean, you just drive through it. Like you can blink, right? And you're through this town. There's no taxis. There's no Uber. But there are volunteers. And that's who Mr. and Mrs. Soul are. They volunteer to bring people to appointments and things. So I've had so many medical appointments this year. It's not even funny. Diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. And, in 2016, moving 4 times, that was just stressful in itself for any average person. Moving is very stressful. And so there's a crisis, women's crisis, so I've been able to get free counseling. So that's been amazing. And yeah, I've had to use the food bank. It's been so humbling. I haven't wanted to tell anybody. But again, with the fates, right? People that have been crossing my path, helping me realize that I am here for a reason. So there's been a lot of shame and blame over the years of where I've lived and who I've lived with, but it's all beginning to make sense now. Thank you, Rachel. Oh, my hair, sorry. I love you too. Penny, her lovely photos looked calendar worthy. Thank you. Okay, you guys got a love fest going on there. So there is, let me tell you, there is a love fest. It was started as a contest, as a love fest. And that, again, when you go over to the patreon.com/Marguerite Brigham, in the posts. So the contest is, tell us what the swans mean to you. And that goes until Wednesday, November 28th. You can win your own customized calendar. So this one, the US compared to the Canadian, I didn't know. The US puts in the like the solstices, the equinoxes, right? So if you want it in Canadian, we can work together and add this in. I'm putting it at a $200 value. You can put in different quotes, right? You don't have to put in these quotes. It also has, in the American one, it has like Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, right? It has a lot more added to the calendar than the Canadian. Okay. So, Love Fest, yes, Penny, stepping stones that led you here and now. Yeah, for sure. Belle, your past makes you who you are today, an awesome, strong woman. Thank you. Oh, you know that quote about being a masterpiece and a work in progress? That's what it feels like all our journeys are right now, as we are in big transition and big transformation. And yeah, I'm predicting, mark my words, I'm predicting that the swan is going to be a big symbol. You know how unicorns are everywhere? In the next few years, I bet you're going to start seeing swans everywhere. Right now, butterfly is a symbol for transformation, but so is swan. So is swan. And it's like we are all growing up, right? We are all becoming that beautiful, mature, graceful adult swan. And yeah, it's I also feel like the quote that, you know, being graceful and where is it? Graceful and peaceful, gliding on the surface with huge, strong, powerful legs underneath. Hello, Rebecca. Nice to see you. That's what it feels like my path has been like too, right? You know, so doing that, the meditation, being calm and everything, and well, a lot of times, but powering away underneath, trying to save myself. A lot of people have just let me fall, but I guess that's the path I was supposed to take, right? To advocate for myself, advocating for the swans and the other dimensions. The swan is a doorway. Thank you for the hearts. The swan is a doorway to other dimensions. And, you know, at certain times the veil is the thinnest and the other dimensions can come closer to us and guide us. And there is an overlighting guide in these calendars. And I may, you have to let me know. I know some of you have the calendars, but I may be giving you that as a gift, so you can call on Solace, the overlighting fairy who helped this calendar, who I was told to visualize the end result. So I may give you that reading as a gift. Again, I don't see who orders the calendars. They don't give me that information. So if you're ordering them, let me know, and definitely let me know when you get them. So I'm so excited to share this end result. There will definitely be more unfolding as this goes. It is in the story, so I'd love for you to read some of the poems that are up over at the contest. And Mr. Soul, Jim Soul, has writings. He asked if I would like writings. He's not on the computer, so Norma said he's rewriting it all out by hand, but that's going to be in the book. And I don't really want to get into the battle, but if I have to, I will. But you know when you finish a project and then you're weary? That's why it's taken me a couple days to come online to show this too. I was weary. But this full moon's charging me up. So if you're watching this on the Friday, Black Friday, happy full moon. And just, yeah, really, really thankful. When we were doing the Cosmic Love in September, and I was asking near the end, how's this going to finish? Is it going to be tears of frustration or tears of joy? And man, it's been tears of joy. It's been such an honor to co-create this with you, to share my healing path of going for walks with the swans in photos and videos. And I thank you, people that have, written to me and told me how inspiring they are and how appreciative to see the beauty. There's so much ugliness in the world, so isn't it great to, to have beauty? Woohoo! Penny says, Belle, I'm ordering another one. Oh, nice. I know, when you see them, they're like, wow. I don't know if I should say, hey, your granddaughter, we don't want her to see this, but yes, they are a beautiful gift that gives back. Happy full moon to you, Rachel Rose, and to you, Penny. Happy full moon. So, yeah, you can just do this, one-time purchase of the calendar. I want to keep it going all year long, so there's an $8 tier over on the Patreon page. You can see, so I can continue giving and definitely, calendar for a couple years, even if I'm not living here, because, well, Penny and Rachel know. They saw some of the photos. I have, I don't know, seems like close to 100. But what's really cool is if I'm not living here, I can go to Lake Ontario, see about 200 of them in the winter, and to Norma and Jim's. So there's a lot more of this story unfolding. So thank you for allowing me to share, to hold this space while I've been in the healing, while I've been able to share this difficult story of, falling and my comeback, and with sisters, beautiful soul sisters. And I love that today's full moon is Sacred Fated Soul Connections. So this truly is soul connections. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye now. Mwah. Thank you all. I love you so much. Bye now.